Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us once again this evening. And thank you, Paul, for the intro. As Paul said, we are always delighted to share this time with you. And our hearts are very, very full of hopes and wishes for your success. And we are happy if in one way or another we can contribute to that success. And the more you are, the happier we are, which means that our hearts are always expanding. The more we increase the number of distributors, the more our hearts increase to accommodate you with all our love and good wishes. So as you might have seen in your invite for today, I wanted to speak about some of our best sellers. And of course, the best sellers will vary from region to region. I just kind of picked the ones that we know well as our best sellers. And just to start by saying that our Neolife products are all excellent. A lot of work has gone into researching and manufacturing them. A lot of care is taken in transportation and in storage. So we can always be sure that any Neolife products that we bring to the market or we bring to our customers is going to be excellent and to fulfill the promise that it has made. And of course, as I said, we have many products from Neolife and we are always increasing. I noticed that we have had new products. In fact, already in 2022, new products have been introduced. In Southern Africa, we have had a new product introduced. In Eastern Africa, we've also had new products introduced. So we not only have many products, but we are increasing all the time. And of course, we do our best to get to know our products, but it's also essential for us to know the best sellers in our region, because this is information we should share with everyone that we introduce to the business. We can't tell them about all the products at once, but it's a good thing as a sponsor or an upline to make sure that the people in your organization know the best sellers and know how to present them briefly and effectively to any clients that they may come across or to any distributors that they themselves may sponsor. The aim is not to be very scientific, but the aim is to let the customer or the new distributor know how the products works, how it can help to solve a given problem, so that when they themselves go out to speak to people, they have an idea of what the products do. But we always say in our business that the best way to get to know the products is by using them ourselves. And that is why in our three-pronged approach of our basics, using the product is right there at the top. So for that reason, I like this session, because it helps us to know the foundation products or the best-selling products that we have in both Southern Africa and East Africa. And once we know this, we can use it as the basis of talking about our products. So let me go right into it and start with TreeNN, which is well known to most of us, I think, unless we are very new, maybe we joined very recently. We know that TreeNN is the foundation supplement for our nutritional supplements. And the reason for that is that it is composed of healthy oils extracted from organically grown plants. And these oils come from the husks of different grains and legumes. And what they do is that they take care of the health of our cells, especially our cell membrane. And why is our cell membrane important? Because it is through the membranes or the walls of each cell that the things that we need, the nourishment gets in and the waste products get out. Because each cell is like a small engine which takes in fuel and gives out exhaust. And the exhaust pipe is both the exhaust pipe and the fuel pipe is going to be through the cell membrane. So if our cell membrane is working well, then we get the benefits of all the other healthy habits that we cultivate. If our cells are not working well, then of course it means that we'll only get partial benefit from whatever we take in or whatever we are trying to do to improve our health. So that is why TreeNN forms the foundation of our supplementation. So for example, if this year you've decided you're going to increase your level of activity, maybe you have decided to take up jogging, or you have decided to take up weightlifting. Of course, when we exercise, we produce some toxins as a result of burning fuel for energy. And this toxin has got to be removed from our cells. And that is an example of taking up a habit, but the cell membrane participates in that habit by making sure that we benefit from it. Then the second one after tree and N is omega-3 salmon oil, another bestseller, because it is a tried and tested product, which is quite well known. And we know that there is much research that has gone into this. And so here we have a product that is made out of a balance of high quality fish oils extracted from fishes that have been caught in the unpolluted waters in the North Atlantic. So the North Atlantic waters are protected from pollution. And for that reason, the fish there are of the highest quality. And that is where we extract our omega-3 salmon oils. Also, the oils are extracted from the edible parts of the fish, which is to ensure the purity of the oils themselves. And so it's good to let our clients know that not every omega-3 oil that they see on the market is created equally. We have to think about the quality of the fish. If the fish is raised in a fish farm and has been fed poor foods, then of course its oils are not going to be as good quality as the wild fish which live in unpolluted waters. So here, the source of our product is carefully selected, and within the fish itself, the best parts producing the best quality oils are the ones that are used. And for that reason, we find that our omega-3 salmon oil is also more concentrated, so you get more value for each capsule that you take. And you do not take poor quality oils that are got from the fatty parts of the fish, the fatty deposits, because remember we said that sometimes if an organism, including human beings, if we have pollutants in our bodies, we keep them in the fatty parts, fatty tissue of the body. The fish does the same. So if the fish is living in polluted waters, some of the pollutants are going to be deposited in the oily parts of the fish. And if we get the omega-3 from those parts, then it means that that omega-3 is going to carry some degree of those pollutants. So for that reason, when we are selling our omega-3, we have to sell it correctly. The fact that the benefits of omega-3 are well known. They are known for helping the development of a baby's brain. Let's say that is at the beginning of human life. The developing baby will benefit from omega-3 when the expectant mother is taking it. We know that omega-3 plays an important role in reducing inflammation in the body. We know that omega-3 plays an important role in heart and blood health, and also in the health of our joints. So omega-3 has been well researched as a helpful supplement in very many aspects of the body. And so we need to know those briefly, but we also need to know why the Neolife omega-3 salmon oil is special. And as I've mentioned, is because of the fish that is used and the parts of those fish that is used. And then moving on, I go to ProVitality, which is a combination of products. So it is a 4-in-1 combo that it's as if it carries all the basic needs that we'll have. So if we start from the basic, we start with tree and N. But if we want to go one step higher, then we look at ProVitality. And ProVitality contains the tree and N that we mentioned in number 1. It also has omega-3 salmon oil that we mentioned in number 2, but it also has carotenoid complex as well as multi. Carotenoid complex, as we know, is made of fresh fruits and vegetables, which are colored either red, orange, or yellow. So we are thinking about the fruits like carrots, apples, peaches, and all these, which are bright yellow and bright red. And these ones have got phytonutrients that ensure that our bodies are able to fight off any impurities that might find their way into our system. It helps our body fight infections. They help our bodies to repair damaged tissue, and so on. So the carotenoid complex are very important in our immunity, and they're very important in ensuring that we get those the benefits of red, orange, and yellow fruits and vegetables. Then the fourth one, multi, is a multimineral and multivitamin supplement, which ensures that we meet any shortfalls that there might be in our diet. Of course, it will contain small amounts. If we want a greater amount, we'll go to something like multimineral alfalfa, but multi ensures that we get a little of everything except iron. Multi does not contain iron, and that is because iron sometimes is a lot of time iron is easily available from our diet, and we may find that we don't actually need to supplement with it. If we specifically need to supplement with iron, then we'll take something else like multimineral or chelated iron. So those are the contents of ProVitality. So we can see that if we take the sachet of ProVitality, we are going to get the power pack of N, omega-3 salmon oil, carotenoid complex, and multi. And this ensures that we boost our immune system. We make sure that we have the minerals and vitamins that we need in our diet. And if there are any shortfalls in our diet, then ProVitality is going to make sure that we fill up the gap. And it is a very conveniently packaged one, so that, for example, if you're a person who travels or like things to be very conveniently packaged, then ProVitality is excellent. Many sports people like ProVitality because it's easy to travel, to go around with, and the thing is already prepared for you to just open the sachet and to take it. Then the other products, I think this one might be the last of the nutritional supplements that I'll mention, is chelated CalMag is our next best seller. And this is a mineral supplement that contains calcium and magnesium in ratios that optimize the absorption and the bioavailability of the two minerals. And we know that our body is made of mainly of calcium. Our bones are made of calcium, and magnesium participates in very many of our body processes. So these are two very important minerals in the human body, because for example, just to give an example, magnesium is needed in order to absorb vitamin D, which we may take as a supplement, or our skins may manufacture it using sunlight, and magnesium will help us to absorb it into the different parts. And vitamin D in its own turn is essential for the absorption of calcium. So you can see here, you've got a virtuous cycle in which the magnesium helps the vitamin D helps the absorption of calcium. And so we benefit by taking this supplement. We found that CalMag is a favorite of older people who may be having lost some of the density in their bones. So the calcium is going to help with that. We also find it very important for sports people who want to build up strong bones and a strong frame. We find it is good for growing children who also will need this. We find that people suffering from joint issues will benefit from CalMag, and also a variety of other things. So CalMag is one of our much favored products and quite well known, which I think has earned its place among the best sellers, and which once again, we know that Neolife uses the chelation process for its mineral supplements. And the chelation process is a process that makes the mineral recognizable as food once it enters our body, because not everything that enters our body is recognized as food. So for example, if I accidentally take in my vegetables a stone, my body is not going to recognize that as food. So it will travel through my gut and come out at the other end. But by chelating our mineral supplements, we join it to an amino acid, and when it enters our gut, it is recognized as food, and that makes our body able to absorb it and to benefit from it. So not every mineral supplement that you see in the market is equal to ours, and that is why if someone wants to know why they should get ours, you should tell them, for example, that Our minerals are chelated, and this is a selling point because they get the greater benefit from the supplement that they take. They will absorb it better, and it will do the job for them. Then going to the a different product altogether, this is a Super Grow, which is a bestseller in East Africa because the farmers, East and West Africa, the farmers are very, very delighted with its results. We know that this is maybe the tree and end of food production, because we know it enhances the ability of water to be absorbed and retained. And through the water, we know that as plants are absorbing nutrients from the soil, they do it in solution. And when the Super Grow is added to the water, it makes the absorption more effective. We also know that in fish farmers, they like Super Grow because it improves the water quality of the fish ponds where they are keeping the fish. And they observe that the fish do not resort to cannibalism, because sometimes when the fish, the water quality is poor and the fish are stressed, they start eating one another, which is a distressful thing for the fish farmers. But they find that when they use Super Grow in their waters, the water remains fresh for longer, and their fish are less stressed, and they have a better school of fish. I think we call it a school of fish. And also Super Grow helps farmers to cut costs by reducing the quantity of fertilizer that they have to use, because what they put in is better absorbed. So for that reason, Super Grow is a favorite of farmers. And it's good for us to be aware of it. And if we have new distributors or clients, it's good for us to tell them some of these selling points about Super Grow. Then I think the last one I'll mention here is LDC, which is a favorite of mine also. This is our general home cleaning liquid. And we find that it is used in very many parts of the house. We can use it everywhere, from cleaning delicate fabrics. Let's say you've got a nice kitenge, which you don't want it to lose its color, then LDC is going to be the best to use there. If you want to, maybe you bought your foodstuffs like vegetables from the market, and maybe you are not quite confident about how clean they are, squirting a little bit of LDC into the water to clean your fruits and veggies, just a little bit, is going to ensure that they are well cleansed and it is not toxic, so you don't have to worry about that. We also use it in the shower. Quite a lot of people are happy to use LDC as a bubble bath, as a shower gel. We use LDC for cleaning dishes and all kinds of cleaning jobs in the house. LDC is going to be of good use there. And it makes it possible for us to replace very many soaps. If we were shopping in the supermarket, we find that by buying LDC, we replace quite a number of different soaps by just using that one soap. And it comes also as a concentrate. So when we buy a 1 liter bottle, we can make out of it 10 liters. Or is it 11? And we also, let's say we buy a 5 liter, then again, we get it as a concentrate, so we dilute it ourselves. And that is another selling point. Then I thought today, just not to fall too far behind, I'll answer a few questions in the remaining minutes. One of the questions I received earlier in the month was about, someone wanted to know about chronic urinary tract infections. This is a common infection, and is especially common for amongst older people. It causes a burning sensation when someone is passing urine. And the supplements that we recommend are flavonoid complex, garlic, and acidophilus. As usual, if you do not have acidophilus in your market, the next best thing we can do is take fiber tablets, because it will provide the food that your gut microbes need. And these gut microbes, the reason why we recommend them for this type of chronic infection is that they work with our body to reduce the unfriendly disease-causing microbes that are in us. So the acidophilus is the seeds of the microbes, but the microbes themselves live on fiber. So we can get the fiber as fiber tablets, or we can get it from our diet. And then, of course, we know that garlic is very useful in killing unfriendly microbes in our systems, and flavonoids is supportive of our immune system. So those three can help us, 3 or 4 can help us in fighting urinary tract infection. Unfortunately, of course, when initially you can, we recommend that you go to the doctor in order to get antibiotics. But if it becomes chronic, that you go to the doctor and the infection keeps on recurring, then it means that there might be an imbalance in your gut microbes. And that is what is causing the chronic situation. And so we want a long-term solution. And that is why where taking the supplements is going to assist. So if it is a once-off, then antibiotics will help. But if it is chronic, then you need to take the supplements in order to help the body to fight off the bacteria that are causing the infection. And the best way to do this is by increasing the population of our friendly bacteria, which will fight the disease-causing ones. Then the next question was about stress management. We know that here in Southern Africa, we call this month January, that we worry in January. So January might be a bit stressful with children going back to school, and maybe we made some choices in the course of December, and we are now feeling the financial pinch. So it can cause us to be a bit stressed. And as always, we say the best thing to do with stress is to resolve it. So for the people who are having stress as a result of financial difficulties, the first thing for us to do is to introduce them to the business, to tell them that they can actually start our business and earn an extra income by working part-time in our business in order to boost their income. And in addition to that, they will also, by starting our business, they'll also get products that will help their bodies to operate, to work better, and thereby deal with stress more effectively. And so, of course, we also need to recommend for them supplements, of which one is Aloe Vera Plus, which they can take in about 100 ml in the evening before they go to sleep. It's a tonic that helps to settle their digestive system. It helps to calm down the nerves. So Aloe Vera Plus, and also it tastes very good. And then the next one is vitamin B, because vitamin B helps our energy systems, that we have more energetic, because one of the characteristics that happens when we are stressed is we tend to find we don't have enough energy to do what we need to do, or sometimes we feel discouraged and not able to have ideas. Because, you know, one of the ways in which we deal with stress is getting ideas in how to deal with a problem that we have. So vitamin B is excellent in giving our energy systems a boost, so we feel more energetic. And finally, we also add the omega-3 salmon oil, which helps to deal with the inflammation that tends to come as a result of stressors. So with these three, as well as bringing them the idea of starting a Neolife business, we can help those we meet who may be struggling with stress as a result of different things. It could be because they are ill. It could be, as I said, because of feeling that they are not able to meet their commitments and so on. Maybe they hate their job, and now that it's January, they have to go back to it. So our business can be a nice way to help them to resolve the stress rather than to just manage it. So in addition to that, we recommend the supplements. Then the other question I had was someone wanted to know about heartburn in late pregnancy. And we know that this is usually caused by abdominal pressure brought about by the enlarged uterus, or as the baby grows bigger in the mother's womb, there'll be some pressure on the digestive system. And also at that time, the muscles tend to be very relaxed to prevent premature labor. And for that reason, the gut also will tend to easily open up, and the acid contents of the stomach starts coming up to the gullet and causing heartburn. So the products that we recommend is, once again, aloe vera plus. This helps for heartburn as well as nausea for pregnant ladies. We also recommend Calmag or multimineral alfalfa. We also suggest that the expectant mother should avoid eating large meals before lying down. So if they have eaten a large meal, they should avoid lying down, because it worsens the problem. The acid contents will more easily come to the throat and cause the heartburn. They should also identify the foods which worsen the heartburn and try to avoid them, especially in the evening. And by taking up some of these personal habits and using the supplement, they'll be able to reduce the problem, but also to keep in mind that this is a temporary problem, that once the baby is born, it will go away, because a lot of it is as a result of the pregnancy itself, by applying that pressure, and also by making the digestive system muscles more relaxed than is normal. And then I think the 1 minute remaining, someone wanted to know about a young child, a toddler who has sickle cell anemia. And here we recommend that they use Vita Squares, VitaGuard, and All C. And if the child is able to swallow omega-3 salmon oil, the small capsules, then that would also be beneficial, because maybe you had me say this before, or maybe not. In sickle cell, our aim is to give the body what it needs to repair the damage caused by the sickle cell crisis, and also to prevent infections as far as possible. So the VitaGuards will help in boosting the child's immune system, as well as the All C, and the All C will also help in the repair of the membranous tissues that might be destroyed by a sickling crisis. And of course, Vita Squares is a general supplement to help the child get everything that it needs to grow and develop. And omega-3 salmon oil is excellent for heart health and brain development. So I think that my time has run out. I want to thank you very much for your attention, and to wish you the best as we wind up the month of January, to wish you all the best in achieving your goals. Every minute counts, so do not think that it is too close to the end. Keep on working until the last possible minute. And I wish you all the best. I hope the session is going to be beneficial in contributing to your reaching your goals in the month of January. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you do have questions, feel free to send them to my phone number, and I'll try as always to answer them at an opportune moment. Thank you very much. Here is Pascal now to take you through the next session.
Yes, good evening, friends, and good evening, distributors from different regions, East Africa, Southern Africa, and West Africa. The session I want to do now, I think links up with what Betty has been talking about, that is the best sellers. Because the next session I want to talk about is how to retail products. Because our business is when we provide a service or a product to the public for the money they pay us. And one of the ways is to provide, if you give me a moment, I want to share the screen with you. Current slide. Yeah, I want to share with you how to retail products. Retailing products simply means selling. Now, one of the things that people complain about when they're joining the business or when you're prospecting them, they ask, am I going to sell products? I think that question sometimes I don't think is accurate or fair question, because everything we do, we are actually selling ourselves. If you're a young man and you're looking to get married, you have to sell yourself to your fiance or the lady you're hoping to marry. You have to sell your best. What are your good qualities? What is it that is going to attract or help the lady make a decision to say, okay, I'm going to commit myself to this person? If you're looking for a job, you have to sell yourself. If you are in a group and you're discussing something or debating, you have to sell your idea. So sometimes we fail to recognize that almost every single day, we are selling something, either an idea, we are selling ourselves, we are selling what we do or what we want to avoid. So we are selling something all the time. Now, in our case, I want to discuss a few ideas which I think is going to help you increase your sales, because we only get paid when products move from Neolife to different customers, either you as a distributor or your customers. When they buy products, that's when you get paid. Betty has gone through the top sellers in East Africa, Southern Africa. I think the same applies to Nigeria or West Africa. 3NN, Omega-3 Salmon Plus, Pro Vitality, CalMag, then the Supergrow. Products that are really moving in those regions. But I would also add Aloe Vera Plus. Aloe Vera Plus is a very, very fine drink. If you want to relax, or if you want to, if you have problems with your stomach, to reduce stress, Aloe Vera Plus is a very good drink. Now, what are the essential things for retailing products? I remember when we were new in the business, Alta Bolton used to sell us where information goes, product flows. So you need to give information to your customers so that they become aware of the products that we have. Now, the first thing about retailing products effectively is product knowledge. We need to know what the products do. I mean, if you listen carefully to what people are talking about, they will always give you an indication that they need our products. For example, you meet some friends and you're talking and one of them starts complaining about having constant headache, or they're constantly tired. They don't seem to have anything indicating physically that they're sick, but they feel very tired. That should already tell you that they're probably suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome. And because their cells are not fed, the cells are not absorbing nutrients, that person is probably looking to use 3NN. So the first thing you need to do is to have product knowledge. What do our products do? If you hear somebody complaining about high blood pressure, what products do you recommend? If you hear somebody has had diabetes, somebody has had arthritis, you should immediately know which products to recommend. But the next step is you need to learn how to listen to customers. I must say that listening is not an easy skill to master. Sometimes we think we are listening. Today I was talking to a friend of mine and she was telling me that she sent this guy a message and asked him, how are you, how are things? Instead of the person even finding out how she is, the person gave them a quotation for something they're looking for. And it puts people off. We need to listen to people, because remember, if you treat your customers like human beings, they're going to buy your products. They're going, when you have good relationship with people, when they have money to spend, guess who they're going to think about? You. So the next skill that you need to develop is a skill of listening to your customers. Listen to what they're saying. Listen also to what they're not saying by asking questions. Observing their skin. How does their skin look like? Their eyes. When you look at people, it will give you an indication of what they are going through. That gives you a chance to ask more questions so that the person or the customer can reveal to you what their real need is, okay? The third thing that you need to do to retail products effectively is keeping in touch with your customers. When you keep in touch with your customers, then your customers actually know that you care about them. As the saying goes, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that is very important. Take time to keep in touch with your customers. Get to know your customers. Getting to know your customers is keep records of their details, keep record of their birthdays, keep records of their family members, what they like, and this gives you topics for discussion. And when you do that, you find that your relationship with your customers increases. And when your relationship with your customers increase, then it gives you the ability to sell more products to your customers. But something else I would like to add is that make it one of your income producing activities on a daily basis. What are income producing activities? Income producing activities are those things you do every day for your business to grow. Speaking to customers, speaking to prospects, following up with customers, following up with prospects, sending your customers electronic brochures. Because of technology now, most of your customers appreciate when you send them electronic brochures about certain products, either something which has been launched or something that, I must say that Paul has really done a good job in sending electronic brochures to distributors in the East African region. Just by one click of a button, brochures can reach 3, 4, 5, or 10,000 customers within 1 minute. And that is because of technology. So learn to send your customers brochures for new products or even old products which have been repackaged. And I think Neolife does a fantastic job because the packaging of the product is very professional, very attractive, and really excellent. So those few ideas will help us to retail more products. Now, the goal is to build a 250 PV unit. How do you do this? Divide your month into 4 weeks. Each week, your goal should be to do between 70 and 80 PV. If you do between 70 and 80 PV every week, by the end of the month, you've gone over your 250 PV, and you build your business manager by manager. The next thing I wanted to discuss, apart from recruiting is one of the basics of our business, is one of the income producing activities, namely preparing or the posture, inviting correctly, telling your story, and follow up after the prospects have seen the business. The next thing I want to talk to you about is building structure. Last week, we spoke about two things. That is preparing a name list, and what is the other thing we spoke about? Building your team and personal development. Those are very important things that makes our business grow. But now I want to talk to you about how to build structure. What does that mean? Building structure is building your business to take maximum advantage of our compensation plan. Because remember, our compensation plan is called the breakaway system. What it means is that if you're a distributor, your next goal is to become a manager. From manager, you go to senior manager, qualified senior manager. From there, you go to executive manager doing 2,000 PV. From there, you go to director doing 4,000 PV. After that, although the size of your business will grow, your next responsibility is to build new directors in your group. Now, to build new directors in your group, it means that the volume of your downlines to reach to 4,000 does not count to you for your 4,000 volume. Okay? If you're a new distributor and you don't know what I'm talking about, speak to your sponsor. I'll go back to the compensation plan. It'll give you an idea of what I'm trying to say. You cannot become a Sapphire director until you build another director. You don't become a Ruby director until you build 3 director legs. So your growth of the business, that's why the bonus after sales volume bonus is called leadership development bonus. Leadership development bonus means you're paid a bonus by building leaders in your team. And leaders in your team are people who do 4,000 PV with your group. So how do you build structure? How do you make sure that your business grows and you're building new directors? Number one, you need to build width. What does that mean? You need to sponsor people personally. And the idea is to go 4 to 6 wide very, very fast. You need to go 4 to 6 wide. That means you need to sponsor 4 to 6 people very, very quickly. How do you do that? You do that by doing the basics, sharing the business, building a name list, learning how to invite by asking the right questions. They're called qualifying questions. Are you open to look at a way to generate extra income? Have you thought about starting your own business? Okay, that is asking the right question so that you can invite the person to the next process, which is showing the plan for those who are interested. After they have seen the plan, the next thing is to do follow-up and to close. Okay, follow-up and close is one of the most important activities in a business, because the average person doesn't make a decision until you've followed up 4 to 6 times. Those of you in the business a long time know this to be true. If you're new, all your prospects, I would say 90% of your prospects will say yes after the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, or sometimes the 7th time. You follow them up to join the business. So do the basics, name list, invite, show the plan, and follow up so that you can start building width directly under you. But once you've built width, what is your next step? The next step is to build depth. What does that mean? Building depth means every person you sponsor or you recruit into the business, you help them to sponsor their own group. That means you're building a taproot. You're building a taproot in each leg. And the idea is to go between 12 and 14 deep in each leg that you're building. Let me say, for example, if I sponsor John has started the business, is very excited. Although I keep sponsoring for myself, but now I help John to sponsor his own people. I asked John to do what I did, write a name list. I teach him how to invite, showing the plan and how to follow up. You do that until John sponsored 2 to 3 people. Let me say one of those people that John has sponsored is Agnes or Wale or whatever name it is. Let me say he sponsored Agnes. I changed my focus. I tell John, I've shown you how to do the basics. You know how to build a name list. You know how to invite. You know how to show the plan. You know how to close people. Let me work with Agnes. I want to teach them what I have taught you. In the meantime, you need to teach other people you're going to sponsor what I have taught you. Okay? What you're doing is you're working on the taproot. You are building depth in each leg, and the idea is to go each leg 12 to 14 deep. If you do that, that leg begins to stabilize, and that is a leg that becomes a 4,000 qualifying leg after. If you do it well, this leg should be able to qualify as a director 12 months out of 12. If you do that, you've got a stable leg, okay? So work on the taproot, teach each person to go wide as above, and work with the willing. This is very important because sometimes you want to work with people, you keep begging them, you keep calling them, sometimes they pick their call, sometimes they don't. Work with the willing. Work with people who seek your advice, people who seek your attention. Work with those people only. Not everybody wants to become extremely successful in this business, okay? So spend time with the people who want to work. So each leg, go 12 to 14 deep. The next thing is, which is very important in our business, focus on what duplicates. I was listening to Eric Worre at the beginning of this year, I think in the beginning of this year, at the end of last year. And he was talking about the different stages in the business. Between $0 and $100,000 a year is just sheer hard work. Between 100,000 and $1 million is duplication. You need to learn how to duplicate yourself in others. Above $1 million a year, you need to develop leaders who do more than you do. That means you have duplicated leadership in other people in your team. So the third aspect of building depth is focus on what duplicates. Don't complicate this business. It's a simple business. If anything you do others cannot duplicate, think again. Okay, so keep sponsoring always, because some people will outgrow you. And if they outgrow you, the better. Once they do the 4 basics, you need to change your attention. So focus on what duplicates, keep sponsoring yourself, develop a right attitude. How do you develop a right attitude? Read books. Read lots of books, okay? I would say, let me rephrase my statement, sorry. It's better to read, it's better for you to read the best books the most than reading the most books. That means select specific books that you keep reading over and over and over and over again. And why do you do that? Because first, they are the best. Number two, they'll make the most significant difference in your life. If you go to the Getting Started document that Neolife has developed, on page 13, there's 5 books recommended as the best books in our industry. 2 of them is how to build a business. 3 of them is how to build yourself as a person. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. Go for No, Eric Worre's The 7 Skills of Becoming a Professional Network Marketer, and How I Raised Myself from Success to Failure Through Selling by Frank Bettker. Those are the best books in our industry. 1, to develop your right attitude. 2, to develop the right skills to build this business. And then the other thing is, you need to aim at not motivation, but discipline. Why is that? Because motivation can sometimes disappear. Discipline is what keeps you on the track. Remember, motivation starts you on the journey. Discipline is what keeps you on the path to success. The more disciplined you are, the more automatically success comes to you. So remember, discipline is what you do every day, whether you feel like it or not. In fact, every single day, do things that you don't like to do, because that's where growth is at. If you do only things that you like to do, you will have very little growth. Do things you don't like doing every single day. That's where the growth is. If you don't like calling people or prospects, do exactly that. If you don't like to exercise, do exactly that. If you don't like reading, do it. Okay? Those things that you don't like to do are the things that gives you discipline and strength to become a successful person. And the last thing, keep your eyes on the future and past success. You know, sometimes when you do, for example, when we speak to our prospects and later on when you're reflecting, you realize, I did such a poor job and I said what I should not have said, or I let the customer go without making a decision. Don't whip yourself. Just learn from the situation and improve it the next time. Keep your eyes on future and past success, because those are the things that help you to grow. You know, when you're going through challenges, it's very easy to think that that is the way life is. No, life can be better. If you keep your mind and your heart in the future and past successes, it gives you the energy to continue even when things are tough. Do not pay attention to what your mind is telling you. You know, it took me a very long time to learn about this principle. Your mind is designed to keep you safe. Why is that? Because it makes our brain or our mind always wants the most efficient way of doing something to conserve energy. So if you do something which is unusual, your mind is not familiar with it, your mind begins manufacturing reasons why you should stop doing it. For example, exercising. You exercise for 2, 3, 4 days, you start feeling pain and lazy. Your mind starts giving excuses why you should not wake up to go and exercise. It tells you how your muscles are hurting. It tells you that you deserve a break. Remember, your mind will always let you avoid things which are new. And that's when you need to master your mind. If you master your mind, you're going to be very, very successful. And then have an accountability mirror. Sometimes go to the mirror and talk to yourself and ask yourself, okay, Pascal, today, what have you done? Is that the best you can do? You've talked to only 2 people today. What is your goal? 10. Okay. Then you need to improve the next day. You need to be accountable to yourself. And you do that by using an accountability mirror. It's a simple technique or procedure, but you need to be accountable to yourself, because although your sponsor can call you to find out what's going on, but the person you really have to be accountable to is yourself. You need to do that on a constant basis so that you get your life back on track. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the few ideas I wanted to share with you. One, how to retail products. How do you retail products? Number one, you need to have product knowledge. Number two, you need to learn how to listen to what people are saying. Number three, keep in touch with your customers. Know your customers. Number four is get information about your customers, get to know them, their birthdays, and all that. Number five, have daily conversations with your customers. Even if it's 2 or 3, talk to your customers on a daily basis. And then building your structure. You need to know when to go. You need to go wide. You need to go deep. You need to pay attention to what duplicates. And then you need to have self-discipline so that your business can grow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for spending this evening with us. I hope what we've shared with you is going to help your business grow. And, you know, one thing I found, I mean, it's only 3 weeks ago that 2022 started, and already January is finished. I read somewhere that life is like a toilet paper. It runs faster towards the end of it. So those of you who are my age, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I want to wish all of you the very best. I want to wish you success, not luck, success, because success requires a lot of hard work. Paul, I want to hand over back to you to close our meeting. Thanks you and good night.
Thank you so much, Pascal and Betty, for taking us through that amazing session. And personally, I've really benefited from both sessions, the product session and also the business building session. The last point was accountability. And I'm sure all of us, we set some goals for 2022. And it started with January, which is about to come to an end. So you need to look at what has been able to be achieved so far. And we still have a few days that you can be able to catch up with what is remaining. On the same note, month end is next week from the 2nd of February. So you need to make sure that your team is doing what they are supposed to do. You personally, you're doing what you're supposed to do so that you can have a wonderful close of the month. And, you know, when you do all the things that Pascal and Betty have been able to tell us today, I can assure you, you're going to see a great transition in your business in 2022. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for joining us on this call today. For those who are new distributors, on Mondays, we normally have a guest presentation, a place where you can be able to bring your guests and they can be able to listen and get a bit of understanding of what we do. And that begins, you know, the first step towards your success and the things that you want to achieve in this company. So we just want to thank you so much for finding time tonight to be with us. And Pascal, Betty, and myself, we want to wish you a wonderful night. See you soon, and God bless you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Pascal. Good night.